Well, howdy there, my friends. My name is Luke, and I am the programmer behind Carb Cheater and Carb Cheater 2.0. Now, I know no one believes that because behind me I do carbureted cars, but truth is weirder than fiction, and not all of us programmers are neckbeards. So recently, I made a bunch of additions to the Carb Cheater 2.0 app. So let's go through them really quick, and then I have some deals that you can get only through the app that are pretty neat. So with that, let's take a look. So to start off here, the exclusive deals that are on the app, because I know everyone's going to lose their patience if I don't go over that first. So anyone can download the Carb Cheater app. It's for Android and iPhone. You see here, this is an iPhone. So once you have it downloaded, you can go ahead and click offline activities. And these on-app only exclusive deals are under Documents and Deals. And you can see here a few little things that you can only get here from the app. And at the moment in here we have a free display with a Carb Cheater 2.0 and then some pretty good discounts on our Dingus wrench sets. So if you don't have a Carb Cheater, you know, that might be handy for you. And if you do have a Carb Cheater, I don't know, maybe that's something you'd be interested in also. So we're going to jump out of that now to my favorite part, my most recent addition. So you can see, you know, some data logs that I might have ran, but also some example material. Again, if you don't have a Carb Cheater, this gives you the opportunity to be able to play around with it. So we'll just use one of those as an example. So the first thing that I added that's new is you can see this that says replay gauges. Now when you select a demo here, it's going to say demo, but we select that. You can actually replay your data log in the form of your gauges, which is kind of neat. And it will track across your different gauge screens here. I'm trying to talk, hold a camera, and press buttons on an app, which is very difficult to do. So that's kind of a cool feature there. Additionally, you can always do your graph file here. You know, nothing too wild. I think it's a pretty good, darn good data logger if I do say so myself, but you're all already familiar with that. Now, also I added Carb School here, which you have a few different things. You can see that I'm actively working on it, but a few solid additions. If you're taking data logs and you're not data logging with intent, you know, it's useless data. So if you go through this, it gives you a pretty good example of what a useful data log looks like and basically how to do it. It stair steps you through, it explains all the different things. And again, if you don't have a Carb Cheater, you can still play with this. I'm going to jump out of Carb School here. Now this is the one that I've spent the most amount of time on, is this Analyze Data Log. So let's just click a rich data log, for example. Now, this is algorithm, it is not AI, so it works completely offline. I hand-coded all of this, and that's why it's beta, because I'm continuing to add stuff. But you see here, it does a little analysis of your data log overall, and then gives you a little analysis brief of your cruise and your load air-fuel ratio, and kind of gives you a little suggestion there. But you can go in here to a deeper log analysis. You can select the carburetor type you have. I have Edelbrock selected at the moment. And so then it kind of gives you a good what for here on what you should and shouldn't do, or at least some suggestions. You'll recognize the Edelbrock style chart. Kind of tells you where you need to go with your tuning there, and then some other little parts and pieces. Of course, you know, you can always hit explore and navigate around your data log as you please. But anyway, and in typical form, you can still old school style export your data logger and email that around and do whatever. And that's just a little rundown there of where I'm at with Carb Cheater for the fall of 2026. If you have a Carb Cheater and you're not making use of the data logging I've designed into this, boy, you're missing out. I highly encourage you to take it for a test drive and see what you think. And if you don't have a carb cheater, you know, maybe download the app and play around with it and see what you think. I love getting feedback, and that's how I've continued to develop this thing through the years. It's got a pretty solid following at this point, so I'm trying to do my due diligence to stay up on having everything updated and always adding different features. So let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to keep doing my thing.